Well, do you want to introduce your podcast segment?
I've got. I'd like to call it the whole film summed up in as little lines as I can.
You're going to tell us what the film is?
Yeah, so because we really wanted to watch Mandy, but we didn't want to do a podcast about it because everyone was doing a podcast about it.
That is true.
And now I just can't watch a film without taking notes on it. Apparently, and you were like, "Well, I guess we're not going to do it." So I still took tiny notes. So maybe I'll see if you can figure it out from just the names. Like, so I've got every scene, but tried to sum up that whole scene in 2 lines of dialogue.
Okay. From the film.
Or yeah, like maybe not dialogue, but like what's going on.
Okay.
So I think I've summed up Mandy in 34 phrases. Okay. So the first one I've got: what lumberjack gets a helicopter home? All right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, scene 2. Mandy's dad didn't like birds very much.
Oh, I don't know that one.
So she goes on about how her dad used to collect starlings and put them in a bag and beat them with a crowbar.
Oh, shit, yeah,
shit.
that is right, yeah. That's when they're on the sofa having a snuggle.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage just kind of wakes up like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Then the next scene is Jeremiah, bit of a twat.
Bit of a twat, yes.
So he's the leader of the occultists, I guess.
In their motorhome.
Yeah. So we get a bit on those. The next scene, do you have the horn of Abraxas? No, it's just the way these trousers back up.
The Horn of Abraxas is a great username.
It is, right? So following on from that, we've got the Ocarina of the Damned. / electric windows are fun.
Yes, they are.
I love how the guy gets really pissed off with
Exactly.
him on that. Fuck you.
Didn't it annoy you how he was blowing that horn? Because he was clearly post sound effects. He was like, oh, woo.
It was like he was not even doing things, like lightly fingering it. But I did look like the ocarina-y shape of it.
It was very Ocarina-esque.
Scene 6, quad bikes and Cenobites.
Yes. Blood for blood.
They look pretty cool.
They did look cool.
The next scene I've got is epilepsy and abduction. Because I believe this is where they go in and grab Mandy, but everything is really stroby, isn't it? Because
it's almost
they're Cenobites.
It's almost like it's playing the scene twice, but slightly off to 2 centimeters to the right, so it's kind of duplicated.
Yeah.
But with the alpha turn way up.
But it would make me kind of like, because I really enjoyed. So this is obviously where they're in bed. I really loved it. That's the kind of bedroom I've always wanted. Just all windows.
Yeah, and the woods.
And out. Yeah. So no one can see in, but you can just... you've got the panoramic, you can see the sky at night.
It looked proper cosy and also dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in this kind of a film.
Yeah, that whole cabin looked fucking cosy.
Yeah. It was super cool. Super cool. So scene 8.
Scene 8.
Pickled Wasp and Psychedelic Space Messiah.
Pickled wasp.
Yeah. So at this point, Mandy's...
Is that his penis that gets
out? That's a bit late. So they drop... She's tied to a chair. They drop some like LSD in her eyes or some shit.
Yes.
And then she gets this fucking like... It's got to be a wasp. I don't want.
It's a horrible... yes, it gets out of the jar.
Huge critter, and she pokes it in her neck, doesn't she?
That's right, yeah.
She's like, I like to call this the fucking... the topper or something like that. You know, like...
See, this is why I needed to watch it again.
Yeah. Then scene 9, right, so I've got Maynard's lips, balls and giggles. Because for some reason I started thinking that, so this preacher, what's his name, Jeremiah, he really looks like is it Maynard James Keenan or Maynard, whatever.
When you say Maynard,
the singer of Tool and...
okay.
He looks really like him to me.
I just think of Maynard's chewy gum gum. That's all I think of.
He looks like a mix of him and Buffalo Bill.
He's very Buffalo Bill-esque. But if you see him in real life, it doesn't look anything like that.
No.
Just an old dude.
Yeah. Well, it's just weird though. So this is the bit where he gets his nuts out.
Yes.
And then she just starts pissing.
It's great because she laughs.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "But I'm the Messiah." And then that turns into the scene where it's just a close up of his face and his lips are just mumbling. It's brilliant. I think that is one of the best simulations of, let's say, a drug experience or something. Like, you don't see fucking space rockets and shit. It's just like that weird detail of,
is it merging? What?
Am I staring too much at the lips? It's good. It's good.
It's so slow and yeah.
which is horrible.
It's captivating.
It's actually really a cozy scene as well.
It is. Yeah, the whole film is really cozily shot. It's like a warm hug of weirdness.
Exactly. Until you get to scene 10, which I've put down as Hangman and S'mores. This is the bit where Nicolas Cage is outside, hanging upside down, and he's been dragged out and he's being tortured by them.
Have you missed the scene where they kidnap them from bed?
No, because that's the scene before. That's epilepsy and abduction.
Oh, okay, yes. Sorry.
Because then after that, because you don't see him, she's then been given the space thing, and then gets the whole little thing. And this is the first time we see Cage. Is he's hung upside down like outside, and he's being tortured by the crazy older white woman, white haired woman or whatever.
Who I thought was, and I'm not going to remember her name now. I thought it was
I don't know.
I thought it was the mum from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, it's not her.
It's not her.
It's not her. But yeah, they have a whole scene where they all come out and basically torture him and say that do a bit where he brings out this girl and he's like, she's going to shoot herself in the head. This is how much she loves me, and she's going to. And obviously, the gun doesn't go off. But they start torturing him there, and I think at this point that he's like, bring the fucking shard of Claviscus, the knight of the or whatever, fuck knows, and they stab him a bit.
They're just a slight stabbing.
Yeah,
there you
go. And then they end up dragging out what can only presumably be Mandy.
It's Mandy in a bag.
And then they winch her up.
A bag of Mandy,
and set her on fire. Which is where we get Hangman and S'mores.
Hangman and S'mores, that makes sense.
Mandy S'mores. And then obviously, tragically, just like fucking love Cage. And then that sort of stops for some reason, that fades away.
Well, they just leave him alone, don't they?
Yeah, they just bugger off.
Her burnt corpse is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I'm also like, bullshit, did it turn to just ash?
I know, wouldn't happen.
No. So then we get scene 11, Cheddar Goblins and Animated Nightmares. Because it's horrible. I can't think what it is. It's the mac and cheese or cheddar goblin. And there's this little advert he watches where there's these kids eating it, and then this little goblin comes up and throws the mac and cheese up all over him, and it goes really sinister. And then he goes into an animated kind of nightmare. He sees Mandy all grub eaten, and it just goes animated for a bit there.
I hope you've got a scene that's called Pants and Vodka.
No, it's called scene 12, Vodka Bathroom Meltdown.
Oh.
Because he comes in just his pants and that fucking tiger shirt.
That's right.
Somehow
it's the turning point where here comes Cage.
Here comes Cage. I've gone full Cage on this part, yeah. And he somehow finds a bottle of vodka in the fourth drawer down on the right.
It's just under the bath, isn't it, or something? Yeah. Drinks it all on the toilet.
And great.
Gotta get out the scene.
I fucking love that he can't just drink vodka quietly.
He just keeps screaming, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's sat on the bog with his poochy fucking pant tent thing going on. Just proceeds to have a meltdown. And then that's followed by scene 13. Oh, crossbows, and wasn't he in Predator?
It's Bill Duke. It's Bill Duke.
Fuck me. So literally, because it was. I literally couldn't see his face because Bill Duke is a dark man, in terms of
being racist.
Black,
he is the world's blackest man.
He's your Wesley Snipes kind of.
He's
guy.
like Tay Diggs.
He's very black. He's like a Bernie Mac. I couldn't see him in the scene because the scene is dark, and I was like, is that motherfucking Bill Duke?
I only knew from the opening credits that his name came up. I was like, okay, Bill Duke is coming.
Plus, he is old as fuck now.
Yeah,
so he looks different from Predator.
He used to have a perfectly round face. Now he's quite scraggy.
Yeah. But so we've got that scene 14, Axecraft by Cage.
In the soundtrack, it's called Forging the Beast.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, what the fuck, right? That whole this is now he knows how to smith.
Yeah, the film takes a very jarring turn. Yeah. It's now I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
It's kind of like that dodgeball thing. If you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench. If you can chop a tree, you can forge an axe. Fuck off. I guess that's the link, isn't it? Right? He's a lumberjack.
Yeah,
so
he's a lumberjack. He can, but he wouldn't make them.
No, but what an axe!
What? Yeah.
It's kind of like a Klingon kind of fucking thing. It's got a hand grip up by the main blade and shit. Yeah,
and the blade itself isn't your traditional axe. No. It looks like
because then it's got a knife on the end of it.
Yeah, it's like an italic S, and then it's
like a sword axe thick thing.
It's the beast.
Yeah. Then we've got scene 15, Spiky Road Bump. and cartoon Mandy. So Spiky Road Bump is he got the crossbow, and he like the sadistic Cenobite biker gang are going past. He shoots the spiky one off, and he goes, and then he comes around and hits him with the car. But the whole car flips because of this one guy.
Oh God,
Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Because he's like the guy who's like literally covered in
Yeah,
pins.
it's like road spikes or whatever's through him.
Yeah,
I think is he the one who
massive
drinks the blood?
Yeah, but no. I think that's a different one.
That's the big boy.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the Spiky Road Bump, and then we get cartoon Mandy, like naked cartoon, like bit of an LSD kind of thing. It just goes a bit cartoony, because obviously he's crashed the car now and blacked out. Scene 16: radiators and vicious snowflakes. What the fuck? So he comes
It's a great line of
around,
dialogue, that is.
He's chained to the fucking radiator for some reason. Like
There's a massive pit.
massive pit. Why? Yeah.
Because my issue is
because this is under a house or something normal as well. Like I don't get it.
that little radiator ain't gonna heat that room if that pit's there.
Yeah, you're losing
no
a lot.
chance. Yeah,
Your bills must be fucking sky high.
unbelievable.
But this one, like this Cenobite's like, I don't know. He looks like he's
the poet of the group.
he looks like who's the one from In Excess? Oh, Michael Hutchins, because it looks like he's got a bag slapped around his face, like a paper, like a plastic bag, like he's suffocated.
Yeah,
He looks like he's done
he's a bit gimpy.
He looks, yeah, exactly. He looks like he's into self-asphyxiation, and he's weird. And he comes over and keeps hitting him or something.
Can't remember
He keeps hitting Cage, or he keeps telling him to shut up. And somehow, he knocks him down into the lake. But that's his chosen line: is "You're a vicious snowflake," and then chucks him down the pit.
I do remember that line coming up quite vividly.
Weird.
Yeah, he just kind of kicks his shin and goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
And that's the end of him.
yeah. But then scene 17: porn-loving fat guy snorts cocaine. Because he's like covered in blood, that one or something, and he's watching weird porn on the TV, and he sees Cage sneak in from the reflection on the TV.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Fight ensues, and then he manages to kill him somehow.
I think he stabs him. Oh no, doesn't he stab him in the throat or something?
Yeah, well, he must do, because he's got a knife, and because he falls over the sofa, he grabs it as he's going, or I don't know.
Isn't he on top of him and he slices his throat and he gets covered in blood? It's something.
Yeah,
like
that's when Cage gets soaked in blood.
Then doesn't he just sit on the sofa after that?
Well, no, because that guy, the vicious snowflake, turns back up, and there's a second fight.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, so he has to kill him again, and then I don't understand where they are at this point, because he now tools up in the kitchen. This is the next scene, scene 18, tooling up in the kitchen. Plus, you ripped my favourite shirt, because that's the scene. That's the scene before. You ripped my favourite shirt.
Aren't they back at the house where they burnt Mandy?
I guess so, because at that point, he from out of nowhere reaches up, and the fucking axe is just there above the thing.
Yeah, they put it up on the wall.
He finds something else in another cupboard, and then he looks around and finds the crossbow in another cupboard. It's like,
He's like,
have you put all this away? What's going? I don't understand.
yeah, he knew straight away that's going to be in there.
Yeah, but he looks around for it.
The crossbow's like in the bread bin. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's just fucked up. But that goes directly into scene 19, burning car showdown / really losing your head. So it's at that point where he finds the big guy, who I guess is the one that drinks the blood. Because he found that weird jam jar of sputum or whatever it was that guy drunk from the scene before. He's kind of like, and I think that's what sends him mental.
He just has a little bit of it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Then he turns up, and then this guy who's just stood next to a burning car, as you do. It looks like the mountain from Game of Thrones. It's like a huge.
Yes, I remember.
And they have a big old fight, and he manages to eventually use the axe to lop his head off. Oh, that's it. He pushes him onto fire, sets him on fire,
yeah.
lops his head off, which leads to scene 20, cigarette break, which is where he lights a fag off its head and just kind of really awkwardly has a fag for about 10 minutes. Then scene 21, the BT bunker / acid-infused stamp collector. So there's a tower under a bunker. The guy there is making LSD sheets, isn't he? And it looks like stamps. And he's got a big fucking tiger in the background.
Okay, the tiger, I remember. Don't remember the sheets.
Well, he's basically stood at like an acid bath. He's just got like a big.
Yeah.
And he's just handing.
Holding up
I
remember.
Like, literally at that. Yeah, LSD acid. And then he's weird, which leads to 22. A tiger called Lizzie. And,
Get him, Lizzie.
Cosmic Darkness. Because this is where the guy says to him, "You're shrouded in like cosmic darkness, man," or whatever, and he's like, "Cool." And then
I'm a snowflake.
Yeah, exactly. And then he sort of looks and he's like, "Oh, you're right, dude." And he like lets the tiger out, and he's like, "I don't think I told you to do that." And then that's a weird scene. It's not clear whether he kills him or not. Scene 23, quad bike Quagmire. Oh, this is awesome because he's like jamming about in the fucking tunnels underneath something on the quad bike cage, all covered in blood with like, you know, the fucking axe on his
beast.
back. And it's a really long scene because he's just jamming around like.
I think there's a lot of fog going towards him at that point.
Exactly. There's lots of like little lights on the corners, and he gets stuck in mud at the end of it. It's like, but you're on a quad bike. This is what they're designed for. Then that leads to 24.
The irony.
What's this? Ooh, illuminated gallbladder of the animated panther. So that's just, for some reason it goes animated, and it's a scene where Mandy is reaching into this dead animated panther and pulls out this luminous green orb and holds it up in the sky.
Okay, this is interesting because I don't remember any animated scenes in this movie.
There's loads of
I need to
animated
not
scenes.
drink and watch films.
That was a bit of a weird thing. And then we've got 25. That's it. Caltrops.
Oh, yeah.
And axe swallowing. Because that's what he had in the bread bin, was the caltrops. That's what I was wondering. I was like, what was he pulling out of there? So we see another biker sort of no, it's the truck. It's the truck full of the preachery guys or whatever.
It's their motorhome, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it. And then that leads to the second in command, if you want to call him that, Julian's little bitch mate, being pinned down, and then Cage puts the other end of the axe in his mouth. You know, like the
Sharpie end, yeah.
And he's like, so that was nice.
Nice.
Then we've got, what is it? 26. Flying axe, car wash, and chainsaw fun time. So that leads to your main guy there, Julian. I think he looks like he's trying to polish the car in the rain. I don't really understand, because half of this big black car he's got, it's like soaking wet, and it's like he's trying to polish it. And there's a really long scene where he's polishing it, and he just kind of stands back, and then the axe just goes like, and just fucking takes him clean out. Which leads to the next bit, which is chainsaw fun time.
We know Chainsaw Fun Time.
How big is that chainsaw? It didn't make sense.
It didn't make you laugh when he pulled it out.
Yeah, it did. And then always the thing with the chain. Chains don't wrap around and suddenly become connected, and you can't unchain them. Like, it doesnn't work.
Have you ever tried to throw a chain? They're heavy.
Yeah, exactly. But that was cool. I always liked the whole like foot out falling on a chainsaw. It was nice. Scene 27, Church of the White Stripes.
Yeah.
Because it just was like, it looked fucking awesome though, didn't it? Which is the little drawing.
I can see it. Very good.
Just to remind me though, yeah, because it's really nice when you go in. I was like, even though it's creepy and it basically makes it look like a Ku Klux Klan kind of.
It's very rally-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because of the pyramid shape, I guess. But the design wise, it's bloody nice because all the beams inside, and then obviously what you see, I think, is instead of having an actual crucifix inside, they've also just cut a hole in the back wall,
so the light can come
really
through.
Nice. It's like a nice nature effect. I mean, if it wasn't so creepy, it'd be really beautiful. And then we've got dead end tunnels, and ditzy blondes. What did she even say? So he reaches a dead end in the tunnels. He's like running around. For some reason, there's an access hole underneath this fucking church to go down somewhere else, and he finds the elderly blonde white-haired lady again. She's down there, and I have no idea what she said. Like, seriously, I rewound it back, couldn't understand her, tried for subtitles, there was no subtitle file, so to this day not sure what she said, but it pissed him off because I think he fucks her up. And then he walks around the corner to scene 29, naked God alone time.
I suppose just clawing at the dirty walls, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he goes. It's a really nice shot. Like it reminds me of oh god, what was it? So Above, So Below, or whatever it's called. In terms of like, he seems to be going down this corridor that keeps seeming to shrink, and I was like, oh, it's feeling a bit. This is where I don't like.
Borderlandsy.
Yeah, but then he comes up on this big pink light infused room, and it's. The actual guy, Julian. No, that's the wrong thing.
Wrong film.
Jeremiah. Your main man, and he's just there naked.
He loves being naked.
He really likes it with his tiny tadger. And he's spinning around and he's like, but I'm in the presence of God. You can't come in here. I am amazing. This is God, blah, 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 blah. He cuts his head off. Scene 30.
Just like, cuts his head off.
Oh, no, that's it. No, sorry. That's scene 30, salvation or oral sex. This is where, like, he's basically, Nicholas has got him down. He's holding his head like that, isn't he?
Mm.
And he's like, oh, don't kill me, man. I'll suck your dick, man. And he's like, no. And then he's like, oh, fuck you then. Well, I'm the god and everything can, yeah. So that's where he crushes his crushed head climax.
Mm-hmm.
So he crushes his head. Scene 31, flambe plus hero walk equals a flaming pyramid. So I guess he sets him on fire, and then that catches the whole fucking place on fire.
I remember the church going down.
So he has time to get back. I'm guessing he was underground, go back up the ladder, come out the church, and the whole church is just kind of like. To which we've got scene 32, drive of a lifetime, the worst Uber ever. Because he gets in the car all bloodied and fucking looking crazy as shit.
He stares straight at the camera.
He stares straight at the camera. It's fucking weird. But then we get shots of like basically him and Mandy's life and just their backstory, etc. How they met at a concert and yada yada yada. And then it cuts back to him seeing her in the car, and then him even more creepily really smiling at the camera, and me shitting it. Which leads to scene 33. I put down as Mordor Rising, the animated closer. So as they're driving, it pulls back, and then it's all kind of animated mountains and double moons and two moons and yada yada yada. And then we get some credits, and then we do get scene 34, the post credits teaser, is what I would call. Is you get Starlink songs. So that's a nice hark back to early in the film.
Where she said you beat you in the bag.
Yeah, scene 2. Mandy's dad did not like Starlings. We go back to that then, and that's a nice little closer. And then we get it pulls out of the blackness, and there's the illustration that I believe he sees when he walks in the door in the first scene. That she's drawn him, and then his face with like a lion, a tiger or a lion behind it, and then there's more illustrations of her, and then fade to black. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that.
So that is Mandy in 34 scenes or less. But yeah, that was a good one. I really liked it. I still don't get it.
No, you don't need to. It was just awesome.
Yeah, I liked it. Well, thanks for hanging around for that one.
That's okay.